कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय जन जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे Prabhupada ki jai. Om Gyat Virandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Shakanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tattvakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome all of you to this last session of the 7 days course. Though it is the last session, this end is going to be a new beginning. We'll talk about it later. Now we'll have a small journey from what we had right from the first day. The day 1 of the course, we discussed started on Saturday. We discussed about the human life. There's a distinction between human and animals. The human being has special intelligence to inquire. Animals, they don't have that intelligence to inquire. Even if the animals inquire, their inquiry is only restricted to eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Whereas a human with a higher intelligence has to inquire into higher limbs of existence. That is why Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Since we got a human form of life, we have to inquire. Human life starts with inquiring into higher limbs of existence. Now if you have to inquire, then what should we inquire? We have to inquire into 2 questions. Number 1 is, what is the goal of life? Like if you're driving a car, you should know the destination. The same if you're living life, you should know where you have to lead your life to. There's living life and leading life. So if you want to really lead your life, you should know the goal. If you don't know the goal of life, you're a madman, a mad person. Then the second is, what is the cause of suffering? In spite of all my hard work, I am suffering like anything. What is the reason for it? So the goal of life and cause of suffering are the 2 prime inquiries in life. And where we should inquire from? We should inquire from the scriptures. Because scriptures or Vedas, they are the perfect source of knowledge. The other sources of knowledge like Pratyaksh Praman and Anuman Praman, which are based on senses and intelligence, they don't give proper knowledge. They give only illusory knowledge. Knowledge is full of mistakes because there is cheating propensity, and there is also propensity to get illusion. Because of this, any knowledge gained by the senses will always have defects. Now going further, last time we discussed that how all the knowledge gained by the senses is defective, so Vedas is a perfect source of knowledge. The Vedas are a perfect source of knowledge because they are given by God. When God created this world, along with the creation, He gave a manual for this world. That is called Veda. If you operate a machine without studying the manual, you'll spoil the machine, you'll mess up the machine. In the same way, if you don't study the Veda and operate your life, you will mess up your life. The reason for our life being such a mess, so much of trouble, so much of pain, so much of problem is because we have not conducted our life according to the manual of life. Now, Vedas are too vast. Even if you want to study, only 6% are left. Even if you want to study the 6%, then it is very difficult because for that you need to know Vedic Sanskrit. Even not people don't even know normal classical Sanskrit, what to speak of Vedic Sanskrit. And we also discussed on day one that how the essence of all the Vedic literatures are in Bhagavad Gita, because the most important part of the Vedic literatures, the knowledge, is in the Upanishads. That is how to get out of this world. Vedas talk mostly about material knowledge, which is how to live in this world. Material knowledge means how to live in this world. Spiritual knowledge means how to get out of this world. Yes, it is true, you require material knowledge only to live in this world. But the purpose of living is not to just stay in this world. You cannot. You have to die. So we should not take birth again. You have to go back home, back to God. That is the goal of life. Now, how to get out of this world is what is subject matter of Upanishads. And Upanishads are condensed and compressed in 700 verses in one book called Bhagavad Gita. Now, how to study the Bhagavad Gita? For that you have to approach a guru. And the guru should be belonging to one of the four sampradayas. The first is Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra, Shri and Kumara. International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we belong to the Brahma Sampradaya. Brahma, Madhva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So if you want to learn Bhagavad Gita, you can go to Rudra Sampradaya, you can go to Shri Sampradaya, you can go to Kumar Sampradaya also. So now, after studying if you want to read the Bhagavad Gita, you have to approach a guru who is belonging to one of these four sampradayas. And he should be an acharya, one who teaches by example. He should also have knowledge. He should be heavy with knowledge. Guru means very heavy. So why Guru is called Guru? Because he is heavy in spiritual knowledge, scriptural knowledge. And then also he should practice what he preaches. And then the disciples or the students, the student of Bhagavad Gita should have the following qualifications. The first is he should be inquisitive. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Actually, student means one who is inquisitive, inquire. And the second is he should be devotee of Krishna, he should be humble and have service attitude. So these are the qualifications of a guru and disciple or a student. In the next day we discussed about science of soul. While discussing about the science of soul, we spoke about how soul, a proof of existence of soul. The first proof of existence of soul is the soul is proved by even just by common sense. Anybody with common sense says such and such a person passed away. Passed away means he's not here, somewhere else. And we know that we are staying in the house, but we are not the house. In the same way, the soul is staying in the body, but the soul is not the body. I am not the body. I am staying in the body. As much as I am staying in the house, I am staying in the body. And this body is the house of the soul. And a driver is driving the car. There is a distinct difference between driver and the car. In the same way, there is a soul which is driving this body. There is a distinct difference between soul and body. Now, the second proof is by intuitive understanding or logic. By logic, you can understand that if this is my hand, there is a distinct difference between me and my hand. So, if there is a distinct difference between me and my hand, I am not the hand. So, this is my head. That means there is a distinct difference between me and my head. And this is my body. That shows there is a distinct difference between me and my body. The very fact you say this is my body. My I is different from this body. I am living in this body. So, the soul is distinct from the body. Third proof, we discussed the presence of consciousness. We feel the pain and pleasure because of the presence of soul. And the fourth proof is near-death experience and out-of-body experience. Even the medical science accepts, because of these phenomena, that there is something beyond this body which is making this body function, do all its activities. And ultimately we discussed about the past life memories. These past life memories are the proof of existence of soul. Because if there is a previous life, and what is the thing which carried forward from this previous life to this life? And what is the thing which is going to be carried forward from this life to next life? That is the soul. Now the soul is, the whole body setup is compared to computer. The gross body consisting of 5 elements is compared to the hardware. The subtle body consisting of mind, intelligence and false ego, the subtle body is compared to the software. The consciousness is a current, plug point is the soul, and a huge generator or the powerhouse is the super soul. There is a distinct difference between brain and mind. Brain is gross body, mind is subtle body. There is a distinct difference between mind and soul. Soul is spiritual, mind is material, though it is subtle. And there is a distinct difference between the soul and the super soul. At no time it happens, the soul merges in the super soul. So, we discussed all these points on day 2 and understood how that this one statement, that I am not this body of spirit soul, is a solution to all the problems in the life. And in the problems not only in our own life, but it is a solution to all the problems, the entire world. You name a problem in this world, it has got its solution in just this one sentence, that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Now, the only problem in our life is that time is passing away, we have not realized that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Self-realization has not happened, that is the only problem in our life. Now, the third day we discussed about science of source, God. First we discussed about proof of existence of God. And we understood that if there is a control in this world, if everything in this world is controlled, then there is a controller. Everything in this world is designed. Perfect design is there. That means there is a perfect designer behind it. If everything in this world is created, there is a creator behind it. So, no world comes by chance. So, there is an intelligent person who created this world. Now, we discussed that how even great scientists are religious and accept the existence of God. And we also discussed the point why we require different religions, or why there are different religions. Though there is one God, there are many religions because of different audience. According to their maturity, the subject matter of one God has been described in their own particular way of understanding, the way they would understand. But Sanatana Dharma is a science of soul. It is a soul which is the real nature of the soul is Sanatana, eternal. Dharma means the quality which cannot be separated from the soul. What is that? Love. The Sanatana Dharma means to love God and serve God. Anything which brings us to the point of loving God, that is Sanatana Dharma. Now, on day 4, we discussed about what definition of God. While discussing the definition of God, we discussed the preliminary definition of God, saying that God is supreme. How is he supreme? The source of everything. Yato yayamani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat pralayante visham vishanti. Now, he is a generator, operator and destroyer. This is the preliminary definition of God. And actually, the ultimate definition of God is to know God as Bhagavan. Bhagavan is one who has got 6 opulences in full and is a person with qualities. So, Bhag means 6 qualities, 6 opulences. So, anybody has got these 6 qualities: beauty, riches, fame, knowledge, and strength and renunciation. In full, that means he should be all beautiful, all powerful, all famous. So, if he has these 6 qualities, that means he is attractive. If these 6 qualities are there in Bhagavan in full, he is all beautiful, all renounced, etc., etc., then he is all attractive. Now, if Bhagavan means all attractive, and all attractive in Sanskrit means Krishna. Who is Bhagavan? Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So, we discussed about how God is at one place in the spiritual world as Bhagavan, and he is in everybody's heart as Paramatma, and he is everywhere in the form of Brahman, his energy. So, we discussed all these things on day 4. And now, on day 5, we discussed that how Krishna is Supreme Lord, and now what is the connection with Krishna and the demigods. Krishna manifested all the 6 opulences in full, perfect. Now, this is the 5th day, sorry. So, he manifested all the opulences in full, all the qualities in full, Krishna. He is all attractive. But what is his connection to the demigods? We discussed about how The demigods are devotees of Krishna. Lord Shiva is chanting the name of Krishna, that is why you find a japmala in his house, in his hand. Ganesha wrote the Gita, and then he is a devotee of Krishna. And Durga Devi, she is a Vaishnavi, that means she is a devotee of Krishna. So all the demigods, they are all servants of Krishna, and they are very happy to see everybody serving Krishna rather than them. Sometimes people think, oh, if we don't worship Krishna and worship the demigods, what is going to, if we don't worship the demigods and worship only Krishna, the demigods will feel bad. No, rather they will be happy because they know Krishna is Supreme Lord. Demigod worshippers don't know Krishna is Supreme Lord, but the demigods or Devi Devatas, they know perfectly well that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Brahma, he prays, Govinda Vajpurisham Tamam Bhajami. And you name a Devata, everybody have praised the Supreme Lord. They accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, if you really want to worship Krishna, and if at all you want to do something with demigods, you respect them. So, respect is for the demigods and worship is for Krishna. Now, after discussing about the demigods and Krishna, the connection, yesterday we discussed about material nature, Sattva-guna, Rajaguna and Tamaguna. Because of Sattva-guna, Rajaguna and Tamaguna, we have a connection with Sattva, we have the karma. Because the modes of nature, we are conditioned with, we do karma, we activity. And this activity has a equal and opposite reaction. That is called karma bandhana. We are bound to this world by actions and reactions. So yesterday we discussed about two kinds of karma. People think there are two kinds of karma. Actually there are three. Now there's something called karma. When you practice, when you do activities according to Vedic injunctions, they are called karma, pious activities, by which you can go to heaven. And if you don't go, if you don't practice Vedic life and you go against the Vedic literature, it is sin. So this is called vikarma. You will go to lower species. But beyond karma and vikarma, there is something called akarma. And the word akarma refers to that actions which do not get any reactions. So these actions are not anything else. Every action what you do daily these days you are doing, every day you do these activities, they can be akarma provided you keep Krishna in center and perform those activities. So what makes the difference between karma and akarma is, karma is binding you to this world. You have to take birth again. But if you do your activities keeping Krishna in the center, then the same karma which is binding will take you back home, back to God, to the spiritual world. So this is how the theory of karma we discussed yesterday. That karma cannot be neutralized, number one. And karma cannot be purchased in any other planet, only in the earth planet. That too, Dharman, Bhagavatan, Iha, this place, earth. There only you can while enjoying your or suffering your karma, and you can perform, get new karma, good or bad. And then in the animal body, there is no question of any karma. They are acting according to instincts. They don't get any reactions for their work. But we as humans, we are the most important, most intelligent. That is why we have been given the freedom to act according to the will of the Lord, do akarma, or to go against the will of the Lord and perform just some vikarma or any other activity by which we get bound. So akarma is the activity which is done for the Supreme Lord. And when you do work for the Supreme Lord, the same work which is binding, it becomes the cause of liberation. So, karma, akarma, vikarma. So this akarma is nicely explained by seeing Duryodhana fighting and Arjuna fighting. Both of them are Kshatriyas, so both of them duty is to fight. So why we say Arjuna victorious, Jai Ho? Why? Because Arjuna fought for Krishna. Duryodhana also fought his duty. He did his duty for his own sense enjoyment. That is why Bhagavatam says, Dharmasya apavargasya nartho asya kamavi. One should not perform dharma for material gain. One should perform dharma for spiritual progress. Now, yesterday we discussed that how akarma can be performed by anyone and then purify oneself and go back home, back to God. And that highest self-welfare activity also we discussed yesterday. That is to preach Krishna consciousness. To teach Bhagavad Gita is the highest welfare work, because all the other material work, material welfare activities, they lead you to some satiation. After that you don't like it. I still remember there was one school where we were feeding prasad. And the very first week when we started that, I went there, and then there was khichdi prasad made for all the children. Then what happened when they ate? Gradually what happened? The taste reduced. They were not interested in that. So karma, akarma, vikarma. When you do activities for your own sense enjoyment, that becomes the cause of bondage. And if you do activities for Krishna, then that activity becomes the cause of liberation. So, highest welfare activity is something which you give some knowledge. If you go on feeding a person, he becomes disinterested in that. The same thing, he will not become interested. You may say it is charity, but the highest charity is to give knowledge to a person, by which he can go back home, back to our ultimate benefit can be reached. So these are the points we discussed yesterday. And there's one more aspect which was left over, time. We'll just briefly introduce time. Time is Krishna's unconscious eternal energy. So time and tide waits for none. If there are a person, you can ask him, please wait for 2 minutes, I am coming. But can you tell the clock, wait for 2 minutes? You cannot tell the clock, it will not wait. It will not hear only. Only when he hears, the clock hears, or the time hears, then only it can stop. So the time will not stop. You can say, oh time, Mr. Time, wait for 2 minutes. The time will not wait. So every day the sun is rising in the east and setting in the west. One day is gone. Every day we are actually going one step near to death. Every day we are walking one step near to death, closer to death. So if we celebrate happy birthday to you, and people ask that small boy or girl, how old are you? They say, I am 8-year-old now. So the question is, how old are you? If you say the same question in Hindi, you have to say, Kitna saal buddha ho gaya? How old are you? Nobody says, how young are you? Because every day you are becoming old and pushed towards death. We don't know, we are unconscious about it. That is the problem. So there was one person who was a merchant. He was so busy with his own business. One day Sadhu came to his house and then asked him to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He told him, I am very busy. And Sadhu wanted to glorify the holy name, how important it is. He told a story of Jamil. There was one Brahmin who was a very great devotee of the Lord. But somehow it so happened he fell into bad association, because of which he gave his beautiful wife, chaste wife, children, everybody, and went and got married to a prostitute. And did all kinds of sinful activities just to please the prostitute. The time came, at the end of his life, he had a small baby called Narayana. Now, anybody would be really attached to the small or the youngest son. So, Jamil, now the death came, the Yamadutas were taking him. By the time Jamil came to know, I am going to leave the body. And then, naturally, you will call out the person whom you love the most. He loved his son the most. He said, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. By the time Yamadutas were pulling Jamil, Vishnudutas were walking by the time, and then they saw, hey, who is chanting the Lord's name? They saw Jamil is chanting Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And here, the Yamadutas are pulling him. So, Vishnudutas took their sword and told Yamadutas, now stop. They told, why? Anybody who chants the name of the Lord, you don't have authority over it. Yamadutas told you, he is not chanting Krishna's name or Narayana's name. He is chanting his son's name. So then, Yamadutas were told by Vishnudutas, we don't know. We only know he chanted the name of Narayana. Anybody chants the name of Narayana, you don't have any adhikar over them. So Yamadutas had to go back. So this is how even unconsciously chanted. The holy name is so powerful. Please chant. The businessman told Sadhuji, Sadhu Maharaj, you told a wonderful story. See, I am a businessman, I don't have much time, but I am very impressed by your story. I am giving you a promise that I am going to think of Krishna, Narayana at the time of death. This person, Jamil, had only one son named Narayana. I have four sons. He called all the four sons. Bunty, Buntu, names they keep like that, some crazy names. So he called and then told, oh, first son, your name is Vasudeva. Second son, Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. He gave four names to four sons. Then told Sadhu Maharaj, please take your Dakshina and go. Don't trouble me. Definitely I am going to think of any of these four sons because I love them so much. So it so happened that the day came and he was just about to leave the body. He remembered the words of the sadhu, this businessman. By the time he became so busy, whole life he just spent in making money, and he never gave any heed to the words of the sadhu. But somehow he remembered. He was about to leave the body. At the time, oh, I gave the word to the sadhu that I am going to call any of the four sons I have. He started calling out, Vasudev, Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, like that. So then all the sons heard. Oh, because their shop was just ground floor and they used to upstairs. So all the children they heard who were managing the shop. They all came running up. Papa, father, how are you? Then this father saw all four of them and told, oh, all four of you came. Who is going to take care of the shop? And died. So what does it mean? That a person thinks whatever he loves the most at the time of death. So this is what happens. That we need to practice Krishna consciousness right from childhood. You don't have to wait for some time. Later on I will practice Krishna consciousness. No, it should be started now. Like Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Antakale chimameva sparam muktva kalivaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati naschitra samshaya. Antakale chimameva sparam. Anybody thinks of me at the time of death, he'll come back to me. So, here, it is not easy to think of Krishna at the time of death. It requires practice. Like a child goes to school every day. Of course, now it is Corona, they are not able to go. Goes to school every day so that this child or the students can face the examination. In the same way, our human life, 60, 70, 80 years, whatever time duration this body is existing, it is only a preparation for the ultimate exam called death. Death is an examination. Like a student prepares the whole year for the examination, the same way we need to prepare whole life to face this death. So death is time. Time I am the destroyer of this world. Kalosmi logakshay pravrutto me samai. So it's Lord Krishna himself. He is time. He is present time energy. And he is actually asking us, don't waste time, especially human time. And it's a time where you can develop higher consciousness, higher spiritual consciousness. In this way, Kala can be understood that it is own energy of Krishna. So it should be used in complete service of Krishna. 24 hours, just be engaged in service of Krishna. Okay, now we discussed about time. What to do with this time? Like we just now got this thing. We need to think of Krishna. There is a practice we need to do to think of Krishna. Thought of Krishna at the time of death doesn't come automatically. You need to practice it. The whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to train our mind in such a way that we think of Krishna always. And death may come anytime. So when you die, think of Krishna. That is why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita at the end, Man mana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyatyam te pratijane priyosime man mana bhava madbhakta. You think of me, man mana. Bhava madbhaktaha, you become a devotee. Madhyaji, You worship me. Mam namaskuru, pure obeisance to me. This is the practical aspect of Bhagavad Gita. Many people, they totally forget this verse and then say, Prabhu, tell me something practical application of Bhagavad Gita. The practical application of Bhagavad Gita was told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. In the same Krishna, he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He practiced Bhagavad Gita in his life. Krishna just spoke Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna, when he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually did not just speak Bhagavad Gita, but he practiced Bhagavad Gita in his life and showed to the entire world what is the result of it. What is the ecstasy one can experience by studying the Bhagavad Gita and practicing Bhagavad Gita in our life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami that you had to do 5 things. Actually he told 64 items, out of which 5 are the most important. What are they? Sadhu Sangha. The practical application of Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who practiced himself as a devotee and showed to the world. So Krishna just spoke the theory. When it came to practical, somebody has to show this practical. Who showed this as practical? He came, Krishna himself came and practiced what he preached. And he came as Chaitanya and practiced what he preached. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Sanatana Goswami, there are 5 things which everybody has to do. Out of 64 items, the 5 are the most potential. And if somebody is doing these 5, and at the same time there are 4 things which are not supposed to be done. So there is 5 plus 4. That means 5 do's and 4 don'ts. So if somebody is practicing these 5 do's and 4 don'ts, that means he or she is actually practicing Bhagavad Gita. So let us see what are these 5 do's. First one, Sadhu Sangha. Association with devotees. Actually, if you really want to progress in devotion, just keep in touch with devotees. Be in association with devotees. The more you are strong association with devotees, the more advancement one does. That is why the scriptures say, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, so 3 times it is told. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai. All the scriptures are telling just the same thing. That associate with sadhu, associate with sadhu, associate with sadhu. So, actually your spiritual life starts with association with sadhus. Now somebody say, who is this sadhu? Now somebody will shaved off his head. What is this? Now there are 3 kinds of sadhu sangha. As is the sangha, as is the ranga. Jaisa sangha, vaisa ranga. So if somebody wants to progress in spiritual life, one has to associate with those people who are wanting to progress in spiritual life. Sometimes people think that Bhagavad Gita is impractical. Sometimes people think Bhagavad Gita is for 5,000 years back. Sometimes even people think that it is only for sadhus and sannyasis. But it is a wrong concept. The first student of Bhagavad Gita is a Grihastha Arjuna. So, just because you are in a Grihastha life, married life, that doesn't mean you reject Bhagavad Gita. Actually, if the first student of Bhagavad Gita is a householder, he is a married person, Arjuna, he is a Kshatriya, the most responsible person. Now, Bhagavad Gita, some people say, it is not practical. Actually, only thing in this world which is practical is Bhagavad Gita because it talks about life. All the knowledge, whatever you gain in your school and college, it is impractical because it is not talking about life. It is only talking about dead matter. But the only book which talks about life and famous is Bhagavad Gita. So, practical means practicality in life. So, which book talks about life? It is Bhagavad Gita. So, Bhagavad Gita is only practical book regarding life. So, Bhagavad Gita, Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. Jaisa Rang, Jaisa Sangha, Vaisa Rang. That is why the first thing you need to do is associate with sadhus. And the 3 levels of associating with sadhus. The first level of associating with sadhu is to associate with Srila Prabhupada. who is sadhu for eternity, and he is a perfect example of a sadhu. How will you associate with Srila Prabhupada? By reading Srila Prabhupada's books, Bhagavad Gita. By reading Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada, you can be very close to Prabhupada. And no consequences, no harm can be, anybody can do it. Nobody can do any harm to you. So, sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kahe, all the scriptures saying, lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi ho. Even a little bit association with sadhu, you will attain great perfection in life. Like Narada, he gave association to Mrigari. Mrigari, he was so cruel that he used to kill half kill animals and take pleasure. Now because of association of Narada, he became a devotee. And after some time, maybe after a year or so, Narada came and he saw Mrigari running towards him and paying obeisances. When he was paying obeisances, he was trying to avoid some ants there. That shows that Mrigari has converted so much so. One who is to take pleasure by killing animals, half killing them, they are struggling for life. Now he doesn't want even kill an ant. Why? Because association of a sadhu, Narada. The first level of association is associated with Srila Prabhupada. And how can you associate with Srila Prabhupada? You can associate with Srila Prabhupada by studying his books. He is still living in his books. So if you want to really associate with Srila Prabhupada, read his books. Now the second level of association is to associate with sadhus who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, who know the philosophy of Krishna consciousness thoroughly, and they can guide you. So at least once a week, you need to have association with a sadhu. And at the same time, there are many people who are like you, like businessmen, like housewife, like they're somebody working, professionals, doctors, engineers. And students, they're all practicing Krishna consciousness. So you should associate with them. When you associate with devotees, then devotion is secure. If you do asat sangha, those who are always interested in prajalpas, then it will be very difficult to grow in devotion. The first thing what we are supposed to do is sadhu sangha first. Associate with devotees. Now of course you have no technology to associate with, but best is to come to temple and associate with devotees. We have a program every Sunday, it's in Hindi, and we have a program in English. We're going to start here in Vapi English program in English, that is every Saturday. That is today Friday, tomorrow onwards there will be a program in English. Of course first it will be live on Zoom and the Facebook or YouTube. But most importantly, we want you to come to the temple and hear. So because of the situation, we cannot come. But today, tomorrow, we're going to start this association, sadhu sangha. The second level of sadhu sangha, trying to meet a devotee who is matured enough. And at the same time, there is another sadhu sangha, the third level, associate, make friends with so many devotees who are like you, housewife, like you, businessmen, like you, students. And they are also sadhus. They may be wearing sari, they may be wearing pant and shirt. But sadhu is recognized through the qualities. The first quality, there are secondary qualities of sadhu. Tolerance, titikshva, karunika, being compassionate. Titikshva, karunika, surdasradevina, etc. etc. But the real qualification of a sadhu is that he should be willing to give up anything for Krishna and take up anything for Krishna. Mother Te, for Krishna's sake, he is willing to do anything. That person is a sadhu. So we have three levels of sadhus. Prabhupada and some advanced devotees who are there practicing Krishna consciousness in the temple. And others who are like you, doing their job, business, they have got their own family, but they are chanting 16 rounds every day, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They are practicing all the principles. Associate with them. Associate with them. How? This is how you do the sadhu sangha. The second point which we are supposed to do is second point which you have to practice is, that is Nam Kirtan. Chanting the names of the Lord. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Among all the yajnas, I am Japa Yajna. That shows that Japa Yajna is the topmost, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In the age of Kali, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way other than chanting the names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shudaksharanam Nam Kalikalmashanashanam. Nata Paradrupaya Sarvedeshu Drishyate. All the Vedas are pointing towards this holy name. That there is no other way, there is no other way, no other way. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva. Just only. Kevalam. Just Eva Kevalam. Only this much, that's all. Eva Kevalam. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam. Kalu Nastiva, Nastiva, Nastiva. 3 times it is told. Kalu Nastiva, Nastiva, Nastiva. There is no other way in the age of Kali of self-realization other than to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is why we find there are so many people chanting different mantras, but they are not getting any results not because there is some problem in the mantra, it is because it is ineffective in the age of Kali. In the age of Kali, there is only one mantra which is effective, that is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In this way, chanting the names of the Lord, that is the most important. We recommend you to start chanting with 2 rounds and gradually increase from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and then reach to 16 rounds every day. Of course, if you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting 16 rounds, and the sound in which you can pronounce the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the level is that little bit soft, in such a way you can only hear. But another kind of japa is that you stand in the temple, dance, and then do kirtan along with devotees, with camels, with kartals, and mridanga. There is also sankirtana, but that cannot be done every day in your house. You can do with other devotees and those people around you, they can come and do very good. But Sankhya, Purvaka Namagana Natibihi. To chant the names of Krishna on your beats, that is actually the meditation for the age of Kali. The age of Kali, the only meditation is chant the names of the Lord. So this is the second aspect of what we are supposed to do. And the third thing what we are supposed to do, practical application of Bhagavad Gita, is that Bhagavad Pat. First is Sadhu Sangha, second is chanting the names of Krishna. This chanting the names of Krishna can be done by anyone. Actually, we would recommend you that tomorrow onwards, you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. At least 108 times. That becomes 1 round. 2 rounds, 3 rounds, it goes on increasing and come to the level of chanting 16 rounds every day. Chanting 16 rounds every day. Now the third is Bhagavad Pat. That means studying Srimad Bhagavatam and other spiritual scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam basically. Now, we have to read every day because Krishna himself is present in the form of Bhagavatam. He is not different from Krishna. So, studying Bhagavatam means actually speaking to Krishna because he is there in the book and you are reading the book. That means you are actually speaking to Krishna. By studying Bhagavad Gita, we are actually speaking to Krishna. Bhagavad. So all the different doubts which come in our mind and any other's mind can be immediately solved. All the doubts by one who studies the Bhagavad Gita. That is why every day we are supposed to recite or read Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Pat. And the fourth one which we are supposed to do is first is Sadhu Sangha, Harinam, chanting the names of the Lord, and the third one is Bhagavad Pat. The fourth one is Sri Vigraha Shraddhaya Sevan. That means keep an altar in your house and then keep the photographs. If you cannot worship the deity, it is the photograph of Krishna along with the Guru Param. And then you worship the deities. That is Vigraha Seva. By doing so, your life will also become very regulated. And after this, the last one, which the whole Vedic literature is talking about, is the fifth one, which we are supposed to do is Mathura was. Make the place where you are staying in such a way that everything reminds you of Krishna. Everything should remind you of Krishna. You should have a photograph, Krishna everywhere. Some pastimes of Krishna pasted everywhere. And if you hear music related to Krishna. In this way, the fifth thing, that is Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavad Path, and Shri Vigraha Shraddhasana. It means worshipping the deity of the Lord, and Mathuravas, Dhamvas. Dhamvas means that you make your place of stay into a dham. That means everything should remind you of Krishna. So these are the 5 things which has to be done. And everybody can do it. And among these 5 things, the most important is to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The more you actually chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the more you are engrossed in transcendental bliss. So it's how one should chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the instruction which actually Krishna gave to the Bhagavad in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. That Yajnana Japayogyosmi. He talked about Japa Yajna in the Bhagavad Gita. So now going further, these are the 5 do's. If you don't follow the regulations, 5 don'ts, then what happens? There are 4 don'ts. Then our life is in a mess. It is like a doctor. A patient went to a doctor and asked the doctor, my dear doctor, I'm not well. The doctor says, get your diabetes checked out. So he came back, and then with the report, the doctor was shocked. Say, oh, there's 400 diabetes for you. Then he told, I'm going to give you insulin. Take this morning and evening these injections. So this person went home and then came after 1 week. And he showed to the doctor, doctor, let us get the report. So he was sent, blood was sent to the laboratory. He came back, the report, the diabetes has increased. He told, are you taking the medicine? He told, yes, morning and evening I am taking medicine. I am taking injection, insulin. Now your diabetes has become 450. It has increased. Huh? What did he do? This person told, in the last 1 week, I finished at least 4 kilos of pedas. Just will you ever reduce diabetes? So, not only you have to follow the do's, but also there are certain don'ts. Like the doctor should have told him, take this medicine and don't take any sweets. Now he forgot to tell, don't take any sweets. He just gives medicine. So what happened? Since he's taking the medicine, he thought, let me take more sweets. He took more sweets. So there are certain do's and don'ts. For a diabetic patient, don't means don't eat sugar or any sweet. Maybe deshi good sweets are okay, but I am not going into the details of it. So, there are 5 don'ts also. There are 5 do's and 4 don'ts. They are known as regulations. These 5 things are called rules and 4 regulations. Rules and regulations. And these rules and regulations are found in every company, everywhere. So here, we are practicing these 5 do's and 4 don'ts. Then only we can progress in spiritual life. Otherwise, it is like pouring water in a matka, which has got holes. The more you pour, go on doing devotion, go on doing devotion. If you don't follow these 4 regulative principles, then life is just gone, total waste. So what are the 4 regulative principles? No meat eating. Oh, how is it possible? Somebody is saying. How will you live? There are so many. Elephant is vegetarian, very powerful. And even there are so many Palwans also, wrestling people. These, even Western countries, now they say, now we become vegetarian. And by that they become more powerful. So no meat eating. So here, not to eat meat doesn't mean just you're a vegetarian, you should be Krishnatarian. You should be more than vegetarian. You just cannot be just vegetarian. There are so many vegetarians who are actually atheists. So we are Krishnatarian. So no meat eating. That is the first principle. Because meat, it actually destroys our body, destroys our consciousness. Actually, it is so difficult to digest the meat. The human body is not designed for it. Animal body is designed. Animal body, the bile is more acid in it because it has to burn the flesh which has been eaten, and it should be burned very fast in the stomach. That is, more acid is there. Bile contains more acid. So this meat, annamayam is sumanaha. As is your mind, as is your food, so is your mind. If you are eating meat, your mind will always be disturbed, rajasic and passionate, and you just try to beat and trash anyone who comes in front of you. So, passion is not. So, no meat eating. Because when you eat meat, your passion increases. You see the tiger and the cow. Because tiger eats meat, it is very ferocious. And cow eats grass, it is very peaceful. So we need to progress in spiritual life, we need to be peaceful. For that, no meat eating. The second one, no intoxication. That means if you intoxicate, you cannot progress in spiritual life. In this international study of Krishna consciousness, no meat eating includes no tamasic food. Means no tamasic food includes onion and garlic. Onion and garlic are also tamasic food. That is why we don't recommend use onion and garlic. It is actually, if you tell a story about it, the Puranas, you just vomit. Such as obnoxious these two things are. And intoxication. No intoxication means no tea and no coffee also. You can take Ayurvedic tea, and Ayurvedic coffee is also available. But not tannin and caffeine. This caffeine and tannin, they create a great harm to the body. It is not perceived now. It is going to be perceived after a few years. So no meat eating, no intoxication. Intoxication means no coffee, no tea. You can be peaceful without these two. Many thousands of devotees have given it up. So no meat eating, intoxication, no illicit sex. So this becomes so rampant, illicit sexual activity. That means to sex before marriage and with somebody else other than your wife. That is called illicit sex. So anybody who eats meat and is intoxicated, illicit sex, and gambling. Fourth one is gambling. Anybody who is interested in gambling, he cannot be interested in Krishna consciousness. Whole night they gamble. And which night is that? Krishna Janmashtami. There is a sect of people, these set of people who are intoxicants, always, they are willing to give up their life for intoxication. No intoxication. So, these are the four regulative principles. No eating, no gambling, illicit sex, no illicit sex, no gambling. So, these are the four things which we need to avoid. Gambling. What is it, gambling? This gambling is such a thing that it has destroyed big countries, emperors. You see Yudhishthira Maharaj? Gambling, destroyed. No intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. So these are the four regulative principles which we are not supposed to do. These four things we are not supposed to do. And 5 things which we are supposed to do. In this way, we have spoken about all the 4 regulative principles and 5 things. Do's are the 5. That is sadhu sangha, associate devotees, and read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam every day. Third one, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that is the only mantra which is useful in the age of Kali. All others are great mantras, they are there. But for the age of Kali, this is the medicine which is given. The chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When you chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then one mala means 108 times. Most of you must be having the mala with you. So you can chant on the Jap mala. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. You go on chanting. One round means 108. So 16 rounds means 16 into 108. So you chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and then be happy. So if you accept Krishna consciousness, you'll be satisfied at all levels. Physical level, you'll be satisfied because you have a regulated lifestyle. Sleeping early in the night, early and raising up. Early to raise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. So by following the principle of this simple life, then we will not fall sick. Physically, you will be strong, accepting Krishna consciousness. And beyond the physical is the mental plane. Emotionally, mentally also, you'll be so satisfied because there are devotees. You are around, your association is in the middle of devotees. And beyond that is intelligence. There is no book equivalent to Bhagavad Gita to actually release your intelligence. Everything is there. And beyond intelligence is soul. The soul is satisfied. So Krishna consciousness is satisfaction at all levels. There is no loss in taking Krishna consciousness. If you just take up Krishna consciousness very seriously by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, associating with sadhus, etc. Come to the temple, associate with sadhus, and chant Hare Krishna. By doing so, physically you will be sound, and emotionally you will be very happy, satisfied, and intellectually you feel blessed because of knowing the kind of philosophy Bhagavad Gita. Such a philosophy Bhagavad Gita, there can be no parallel to it. Such perfect logic, and there is beyond it soul. The level of spirit is satisfied, soul is satisfied because we are discussing about Krishna. In this way, the satisfaction is physical, mental, and intellectual. Physical, emotional, and mental, intellectual, and spiritual needs. So Krishna consciousness is a perfect nourishment for you. So I request all of you to take up this Krishna consciousness very seriously and make your life successful. So we have some questions. Before we take the question, I am committing something which is a big thing. I request all of you to continue to attend these classes, which is going to happen every Saturday, 8:15 till 9:15. So this is an offering, the first regular English program which is going to happen from ISKCON Mumbai. So I request all of you to be in touch with us. We have your numbers in WhatsApp group. We'll be posting you the other details after, say, a couple of days or so, maybe tomorrow also. So I very happy that you all attended for so many days and asked many intelligent questions. Though the participants were not many, I'm very happy with this group that I was completely drowned and in these wonderful questions what you asked. So let me answer these questions for today. If a Christian is a person who believes in Jesus Christ and Bible, who is called a Hindu Sanatani, are Charavaks also Hindus? Hindu is a new term or a modern term used for people who are living in a particular geographical area. So, I'm not going to talk about the name of the people who lived in a particular geographical area. I'm going to talk about dharma. Somehow, Sanatana Dharma was practiced by people in Hindu area in this land of India. And that is why it became Hindu Dharma. Actually, it's Hindu Sanatana Dharma. Dharma is Sanatana. It is not called Hindu Dharma. It's a geographical description. People born in this particular land are Hindus. Those who call them the Muslims, they are also Hindus. Why? Because Hindu is not a religion. Britishers had no idea of what exactly to do. They just started propagating anything. They say, oh, Hindu religion. No. The Sanatana Dharma. So, Sanatana Dharma means to accept Krishna as God. And Charvaks, they don't accept Krishna as God. So they are not practicing Sanatana Dharma, so they are not Hindus. Charvak, their philosophy is that beg, borrow, or steal and make merry, that's all. You beg, if you don't have money, please beg, please give me. If it doesn't give, just borrow. If it doesn't give, steal. Asmibhutasya dehasya kivam puranagam bhavet. So once the body is burned, how is it going to come back? Just enjoy, there is no other life. So these kind of philosophers who don't accept next life, continue to the soul, enter into the soul, they are not following Sanatana Dharma. They are atheists. How can they be following Sanatana Dharma? So here, geographical description is given. That is why I don't want to get into the technicalities of it. This land is Bharatavarsha. Millions and millions of years, people had highest culture throughout the world. Now, going further. Prabhuji, we know that the NASA scientist went to moon 50 years ago. According to Hinduism, there is Chandraloka and Satyaloka on the moon and sun. So why scientists didn't found any these type of proof mentioned? I want to recommend you. I recommend you to go to one. You go to Google and then type "man never landed on moon." You'll get hundreds of proofs, hundreds of websites which talk about it. So man never landed on moon. It is a fact that this statement is a fact, but man never landed on the moon. If that is the case, why they did not try to go to moon again? Because they knew they never went. So just now you can open the site and see website. Go to Google, type "man never landed on moon." You will get videos of proofs, and these proofs are so evident. Now they say there is no atmosphere on the moon. But you find the American flag is like this. Where is the wind coming from? Because there is a fan kept behind. Even if you keep a fan, if there is no atmosphere in the moon, it will not flap. It should just fall down like that. They say Earth, moon, there is some dust. They keep their foot, and the big foot is there as imprint. If that is the case, when a 1 ton lander it came down, how much dust would have risen in the moon? So where is it? This very crystal clear sky, stars are seeing. So it's all a hoax that man landed on moon. Of course, why the scientists did not find, if they ever went to moon, what was the finding? It's all big cheating industry. As I told, the whole information, knowledge, what you're getting is from the senses. And the senses have defects. And the major defects is to cheat and be cheated. What to do to practice Krishna consciousness? Chant and be happy. I told 5 things you do. Associate with us. We're going to have a weekly program for you, starting every Saturday, starting maybe tomorrow is Saturday, 8:15 to 9:15. Be tuned with us. You can hear about Krishna. You have Bhagavad Gita with you, read Bhagavad Gita every day, at least 20 minutes, half an hour. And you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And you worship the deities, because that keep and follow the 4 regulative principles. There is no eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. This way you can practice Krishna consciousness very nicely and perfectly. Now, Sadhu Sangha. Why do sadhus mostly wear orange colored clothes? Just because somebody is wearing orange colored clothes, that doesn't mean he is a sadhu. And if somebody is a sadhu, it doesn't mean that he should wear orange clothes. Clothes have nothing to do with sadhu. A person is identified by qualities, and a sadhu is identified by his qualities. The sadhu means, the primary characteristic of the sadhu is one who is willing to do anything for Krishna. One who is willing to give up karma, his own, tektva swajana bandhava, willing to give his own people, swajana, bandhava, for Krishna's sake, you are willing to do anything. That is speciality. Now, not orange dress or the red dress or white dress. This dress is external. Now, next question. Why Dhruva Maharaj attained Krishna so fast? And because of supreme surrender or because of Narad Muni? Or because of Narad Muni was the Guru? Both. Of course, Narad Muni becomes the Guru, then he is going to give him transcendental knowledge. By transcendental knowledge, Dhruva Maharaj could surrender, but of course he performed a kind of a bhakti, which is devotion, but yoga fluid. In this way, there is a mixture of yoga in that. Dhruva Maharaj, determination, and he blocked his own, and he stopped breathing. When Dhruva stopped breathing, all the vayus, nobody could breathe. Then the Lord appeared, and then he became pure devotee. Next question. I read one adhyaya of Bhagavad Gita every day. I read one adhyaya of Bhagavad Gita every day. Is it the right way of reading? Yes. Best is that you take Bhagavad Gita as it is. The commentary given by Srila Prabhupada. And you read the Bhagavad Gita, the words, word to word meaning, translation and purports. And you can read as much as you want, as much as you can. It is good. It is you start reading. At the same time, we should also attend the classes on Bhagavad Gita, where you can have a better understanding of Bhagavad Gita. How to chant Maha Mantra without any offense, because the mind goes here and there. Chant, the mind will be controlled. Try to bring the mind and hear. Don't think everything comes in one day. Rome was not built in a day. You have forgotten Krishna for many lifetimes. And do you think it immediately comes so fast? Now, what is the significance of the number 108? Krishna had 108 principal gopis, and there are 108 principal Upanishads. That is the speciality of 108. And in the numerical point of view, one, or if you add all digits, if it comes to 9, that is very auspicious. That is 9, 18, like that. So since childhood, we in our family have the habit of chanting mantra Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama any time of the day and night. Can we continue to this mantra or switch to Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? You can continue to do that mantra and add Hare Krishna Maha Mantra also. There is no problem. There is nothing wrong in that. But try to increase the number of rounds of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama means I am taking shelter of Krishna. How do you take shelter of Krishna? By chanting the names of Krishna. So, all these days from childhood, since you are chanting Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, you are getting the opportunity to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and become Krishna conscious. What is the meaning of Sita Pragya? In the second chapter, there is a description of Sita Pragya. First thing, Tajahadida Kama, that he gives up all kinds of material desires. And second thing, he is not very elated when happiness comes. In both happiness and misery, he is the same. Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukeshu gataspraha. When lot of dukkha comes, his mind is very steady. And sukeshu gitaspriha, when sukha comes, he is not very much disturbed. Vitaraga bhaya krodha, he has given up his attachment, bhaya, fear, krodha, anger. And he has controlled his senses. And he engages in senses in Krishna's service. There are 4 symptoms of Citta Prajna given, elaborate in the 2nd chapter. I just told you the essence of it. Ultimately, by his Krishna consciousness, by his power of Krishna consciousness, Citta Prajna is unaffected by matter. Trading and stock market are in gambling. Yes, any high risk businesses are in gambling. And there are certain kind of activity in stock market which may not be completely gambling because it doesn't involve too much of risk. The risk factor which makes your mind constantly think of the investment what you've done is going to happen or going to happen or not. You're not going to get sleep. So when you chant also you're thinking about the stock market, then that is really gambling. There's certain kind of risk you have to take anywhere in any business or any life. So that risk which is not affecting your study of scriptures, your sadhana, that risk is not gambling. But if the risk, the factor is so much that your chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is affected and your spiritual life is affected, then it is gambling. In having sex with your spouse, a bad karma, since it is pure sense gratification. Dharma viruddho kamespin bhuteshu bharatarshava. Krishna says that if it is against dharma, then is not that lust. But if it is dharma aviruddha, which is not against dharma, that means wife is meant to beget children. If you are getting married, the purpose of getting married is only to beget children and become father and mother, not to become husband and wife. Actually, after you get married, you're only husband and wife only till the time you get a child. Once you get a child, you're no more wife, you're a mother. You're no more husband, you're a father. The whole focus should be in the child. In this way, the tendency for sense enjoyment goes away. So that is why, as soon as somebody gets married, they should have a child, and the purpose of getting married should not become either husband or wife, it is to become father and mother. Prabhuji, please tell me the 4 sampradayas of Gita knowledge. Brahma Sampradaya represented by Madhvacharya in the age of Kali. Rudra Sampradaya represented by Vishnu Swami and Vallabhacharya in the age of Kali. Now Brahma Rudra Shri Sampradaya represented by Ramanujacharya in the age of Kali. And Kumara Sampradaya represented by Nimbarakacharya in the age of Kali. So these are the 4 Sampradayas Acharyas. But yeah, I have read the procedure of following Ekadashi fast. Is it possible to do fast by following all the regulations as in the scriptures in this material world? Now, the basic principle is to think of Krishna and never forget Krishna. If somebody is doing Ekadashi and then he is thinking of, oh, I should not do this, I should do this, I should not do this, 21st going on thinking, next day morning he has fallen sick because he has not eaten whole day. And at night he took something, maybe something else. Then he fell sick. What is the use of the Ekadashi? You're not able to chant Hare Krishna the next day. So the purpose of all the austerities, including Ekadashi, is to think of Krishna. If you don't think of Krishna, then what is the use of your Ekadashi? Hare Krishna, Brajmohan here, which verse I can quote to prove that even demigods are engaged in chanting Lord Krishna's name. They doesn't like hear chanting of their own names. They tell to chant Lord Krishna's name. Brahma himself is telling in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Now what is Lord Shiva is carrying in his mala? He's got a japamala. And very famous words, Lord Shiva telling Parvati, Sri Ram Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranam Tattullim Ram